Here with Chris Clements. Clements, what a workout. I mean, I saw that one takedown. You almost dumped your training partner on his head. What's going on with you?
Just working some wrestling, Andrew's my wrestling coach, and we've been working together for quite a while. But, when you first start doing something, things take a little while before you start reacting to them. And it's finally starting to come together where I can put the wrestling in with the rest of my tricks instead of just having to stop and think about it. So.
Saturday night, you're taking on Matt Riddle. I mean, opponent change after you come in, and this guy's gone. I mean, what do you make of this card? First things first, let's talk about Riddle. He's a tough guy. We saw what happened with this fight with Pearson in Montreal. He can take a lot of punishment. Is that what you're expecting at this show Saturday night?
People keep saying he can take a lot of punishment, but he's never been hit by anybody hits like me. I'll be curious to see if once I hit him, if he can keep that same smile on his face and keep coming forward. I'm hoping he does. I fight to put on a show. I'm not looking to be the UFC champion. I'm looking to put on a show and people want to see me fight. That's all my only goal. So I'm hoping he plans on standing up with me. And, I'm excited to fight him because he's one of those guys who's a lot like me. He smiles when he fights and enjoys being in the cage and put on a show, and that's what I'm coming here to do. So.
I can't remember how far back you and I go, but I mean, just talking about this UFC 149 card, have you ever seen a card so decimated before?
No, every single fight's been changed, so I don't think it's ever happened. Probably the first time in history to fight. If I put it in the record books, this is the first time it's ever happened. I understand there's a lot of fans that are disappointed, but I'm a fan too. I grew up, not growing up in age, but grew up in the sport watching Nogueira and Shogun, these guys fight. I was really excited to be on the same card as them, and now we lost them, but they're still going to get great fights, and I think that if I actually get out, I'm getting more exciting fights now, because there's a lot of hungry guys in the card.
But that's the thing, though. So, I mean, some talking to you, talking to a bunch of other guys, it's like, wait a second, now I'm even more motivated to silence the critics. Is that what it feels like now?
I think for a lot of guys, it's not much pressure to me because I always come to finish fights. I always come to fight, so I know how to fight. I don't know how to try and be smart. My golf game's the same way, you'll see. I don't lay up on nothing. I go for the gold every time. So, there's no extra pressure on me, but I think for some of the other guys there is.
So I'm trying to interview you, and now you're calling me out for our golf game that we're doing August 26th for the Tompkins Memorial. That's what you're doing?
Somewhat, sort of, yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the topic here. Main event Saturday night, Uriah Faber, Hayden Morale, spectacular interim title fight. How do you see that fight going down?
To me, it's going to look like two hamsters in a cage going at it. It's just fast, high pace. It's hard to say who's going to make the mistake first. They're both pretty powerful, since they're small guys, and they're both super athletic. I got to give the edge to Faber just because he's been in there with such high caliber guys over and over and over again. But you can't really count on Brow either. That's some pretty crazy stuff in there. I just don't know if it'll work against Faber.
And co-main event, we're finally going to see Hector Lombard inside the octagon, but he's taking on Tim Boetsch, with Dana hinting that if Hector has a good performance, a certain Brazilian champion at 185, Anderson Silva, may be in his future. How do you think that fight plays out?
That all depends on if Tim stays out of reach or not. Hector's a very powerful guy, but his reach is limited. So, and the wrestling too. Tim's a pretty strong, hefty guy. So, usually if Hector doesn't knock it out in the first round, he ends up taking him down and kind of beat him up from the guard a little bit. But he might have a hard time taking down Tim. So, and they both have knockout power, but I've been excited for Hector to come to the UFC for a long time. I'm gonna go with Hector on that just because I'm a big fan of watching him.
You know me well. I never gamble. I don't wager, but I think we need to put a bet on this golf game. We need to bet on something. You want to talk about it now? You want to figure something out? We'll bring the people. What do you want to bet on?
I don't know. We'll bet on the golf game, but I don't know what you want to put on.
He's chickening out. We got to bet on something. I think we include Mordesky in there some way, somehow.
Into the winners?
The winner throws him into the pond at the Red Rock.
Yeah, because whoever loses is going to get beat up by Mordesky after that. He's a little animal. Sounds good, though. I'll take that bet.
I am not throwing Mordesky anywhere. Thank you much for your time. There you go. Chris Clements taking on Matt Riddle. Main card, UFC 149, Saturday night in Calgary.